Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Nemeka Onyeka Oderere. The good books, the scripture says in Hosea chapter 4, verse 6, my people perish for lack of knowledge. And the scripture also says, in all you're getting, get wisdom, for wisdom is the principal thing. Wisdom simply means the right application of knowledge. And knowledge comes from studying, from learning, from also experiences. And I've said this. Look at the top 10 most industrialized countries in the whole world. The top 10 countries with the highest HDI, Human Development Index. The top 10 countries that are not impoverished with terrorism. The top 10 countries with high life expectancy ratio of average of 77, 80, 84 years. One thing in common. The literacy level there is over 97, 98, 98%. They prioritize education. They prioritize knowledge. They prioritize skills acquisition. And it got me thinking. In Nigeria, we don't value knowledge. We don't value skills acquisition. We don't value wisdom. We just do everything. I was thinking, China is where they are today because they decided to do what is right and what is appropriate. See, there's nothing God can do for you that you... See, there's nothing God cannot do. But God can only show forth when you show God something that God will bless. I give an example. We are always quick to quote Genesis chapter 26, verse 12. Isaac sowed during the time of drought, and Isaac reaped 100-fold. Isaac did not just sow, and Isaac did not just wake up to reap 10,000%, which is 100-fold. What happened was there was famine in the land. The famine was so deep. The drought was so severe. Remember that Isaac inherited the wealth of Abraham and became very great. He had an army that could conquer nations, but yet he was scared because there was so much drought. There was no rain, there was no dew. And Isaac was so scared he wanted to run down to Egypt, where he felt things were better. And God appeared to him through an angel and told him, don't go, that he should stay in that land and that he's going to bless him. Isaac did not stay in that land and fold his hand. Isaac began to research, began to study. Isaac realized that the only way you can cultivate and reap is to water the plants, and decided to do irrigation. Then there were wells his father dug. The wells have already dried up. His father had wells he dug. Abraham was a very wealthy man. Abraham was very wealthy doing agriculture in the real sense of it. Abraham wasn't doing farming. Abraham wasn't doing any aeronautic engineering. Isaac remembered, and he went to open those wells. He wanted to dig deeper because the place was dried up. He could only dig deeper to get water. He dug the first one, he got water, and they came to contest against him, the owners of the town. It was his father's well. His father bought that well. He would have fought back, but he felt there was no need to spill blood over money. He left it. He went to the second well by his own father's well. He dug deeper. He got water. They contested it. He named it Esek, strife. He left them. Then he went to the third one, and he dug deeper, he got water, and he didn't contest it. And he named it Rehoboth, my place of peace. And he began to farm and irrigate the farms. And within that same year, he harvested. It was simple law of demand and supply. He was the only producer, and so he determined his price. He was the monopolist. And Bible said that same year, Isaac reaped 100-fold because God blessed him. God did not bless his emptiness. God did not bless his ignorance. God did not bless his laziness. God did not bless his indolence. God blessed the work he presented before God. Peter was a fisherman with his other apostles. They came to the night to fish. The best time to fish was in the night. They came with the best team of fishermen. It's decades of experience. They came with the best instrument. They came with hook, net, and boat. And the Bible said they fished all night. They caught nothing. For whatever reason, things did not go the way they planned it. Things cannot not always go the way we planned it. We must have gotten things right, did our business plan right, got the best skillful workers, and yet things never panned out well. Jesus Christ, that was where, because God will always intervene. God will always intervene when we get to our wit's end. When we've done what we're supposed to do. When we've done all we're supposed to do, well, it's right for us to do, and things did not turn out the way it's expected, God will always show up. The God factor is always very important. Don't get me wrong. But the God factor will only come in when you've done what you're supposed to do, and when you've gotten to your wit's end as a human being. They fished all night, they caught nothing. In the morning, Jesus showed up. And Jesus asked them to allow him to use his boat because the crowd was so much who came to listen to the King of Glory. They were pressing on him. He wanted quietness. He asked them to push. He entered their boat and they pushed him deep into shallow into the water, and he began to minister to the people. After ministering to them, he has used the boat that Peter and co provided. He now asked them, cast your nets. And Peter was an experienced fisherman. Jesus Christ wasn't a fisherman, he was a son of a carpenter. Peter told him, you know that this is not the best time to catch fish. It's already daytime, the fish are disappeared into deeper waters. So what I ask, anyway, we believe you, you are God. Whatever you say, we will do. At your word, Peter cast his net. And Bible said, at the word of Jesus, Peter cast the net. And Bible said, from wherever the fish came from, they all went into the net. Peter had a very mind-blowing, net-breaking catch. And they poured it into the boat, and the boats were filled up. And the boats were filled up, and the boats were sinking. And Peter knew that this wasn't by his effort. If they've done all they could, this is the God factor in place. And Peter, that was when Peter realized that this one is God, and said, please depart, we are sinners. And Jesus now told him, yes, I have shown you this thing to show you that what I can do. You are no longer going to be fisherman, you're going to be fishers of men. And that was when the ministry of Peter started. Peter understood clearly the commission and the assignment that God called him to do. He never went back fishing. The second time he went back fishing after Jesus Christ was resurrected, was crucified and buried, was when he resurrected and warned him, if you love my sheep. 3 times he asked him, feed them. Don't go back to what you are not asked to do. Do what I ask you to do. The question is, they were able to cast their net because they came with nets. They were able to feed their boat because they came with boats. If they've not come with boat or came with nets, there will have been no boat for Jesus to use. There will have been nothing to cast into the water. So there's always preparation. You must be prepared. And that comes from knowledge. I sit down here, that is, we don't understand, we don't value knowledge here. We need to build up education sector. We need to build up. That's why you have all manner of work mechanics. You see a vulcanizer, you don't even know the meaning of PSI because they were not trained. You see a bricklayer, you don't even know what it means to. You don't see. Go and look at the fact of all countries, from Togo to Benin. Before you become a mason, or you become a plumber, or before you become an electrician, or before you become a POP designer, you will have gone through series of top draw training. You'll be equipped with knowledge and with skills. And when you do it excellently. See that a man, knowledgeable and diligent in what he's called to do. He sits before king. I have an auto electrician and an auto engineer. He's a Ghanaian. Any of my car he works because he's very expensive because there are very few. When you know what you're doing, everybody will come to you. Because he is one of the very few that have skills. He's very expensive. The people that are demanding for service are more than what he could cope. So, but I've never had a car breakdown. For the past 3 years, this guy has been servicing my cars. And this guy will not use any fake product. This guy will use diagnostic equipment to diagnose what is the problem before he will effect it. And since I discovered him 3 years, I've never had any car breakdown. Maintenance is on time. And because he knows his job, he was trained. Close your eyes and imagine if in every electoral ward in Nigeria, we have trained artisans, trained mechanics that are properly trained, not quacks, trained in the rudiments of mechanic work. Those that can do Mercedes, those that can do Toyota, those that can do Peugeot, those that can do innocent cars. We train them. Provide the mechanic industrial parks where all the equipments are there for them to train. And then we'll put them in digital platform like www.usebazaar.africa that we have created. So if you're driving along the road, you have a car breakdown, you can check through the app and you'll call a qualified mechanic, not the butcher that will butcher your car. Imagine if we have the same thing. We have patent dealers who are qualified, who are not selling fake drugs. We have teachers who are well trained, who are excellent in learning, and who impart knowledge. We have doctors who are well trained, who are knowledgeable. We have policymakers in the public sector who understand what it means to create and craft policy measures incorruptibly to build the public sector. What we have in Nigeria is a charade of mediocres, and that is why we are where we are today. Go and check. 1960s were eras of merit and meritocracy. People graduate from Oxford, from Cambridge. Before they land at the airport, they already gotten job with cars and everything. Corporations go to schools even before, from second year, so for more years. They started scouting for the smartest mind in classes. They started papaling lecturers so that as the smartest are graduating, they are being recruited. Today is man, no man. Who do I know? Nepotism. Everything has become quackery. No excellence. See our roads. Go and look at the roads that were built in the 60s by Michael Obara. Some of them are still standing at the Ereyi Farm Settlement. Go and see the roads built by some of the governors. 2 years, they are washed out, even if up to 2 years. Because we are not applying knowledge. China is where they are today. Because from 1980 to 2005, they moved literacy level from 62% to 98%. In every area of craft, he trained people. They equip them with knowledge. We can do the same thing. We can have trained mechanics and set up industrial parks for them. We can train vulcanizers and set them up in every corner. We can train every sphere of life. Electricians, we train them, certify them. They can do every work. We can even export them. Plumbers. And these are the works of governors and local government job. It's not the federal government job. Every local government area should have a commerce and trade and investment ministry that does all these documentations, that provides working with the private sector, training. That is why we have 72 million farmers in Nigeria. We can't feed ourselves. Food inflation is at 39%. Netherlands, 18 million people, less than 200,000 farmers. They feed themselves and they export over 122 billion euro worth of agro products. Because what they are doing is agripreneurship, driven by knowledge, by tech, by mechanization. 1,025,000 tractors in a land mass of 1.6 million arable land mass. In Nigeria today, I'm importing tractors. I'm bringing bulldozers in. The average 75 horsepower bulldozer, I'm bringing it in here at an all-in cost of less than 17 million naira. Less than 20 million, all-in cost. But I see governors quoting that they imported it with 65 million, 67 million. They overinflate it. That is why when you send them proposals on how we can build these things based on knowledge under the missions, community, diaspora, private, public, partnership, that is transparently executed, that reduce the cost of production, they will not agree. They will overinflate contract. A tractor that is selling for 22 million, they will tell you they bought it for 100 million or they bought it for 65 million. They will go and back it in the Ministry of Agriculture and they will assemble it there. They will now distribute it to local government areas. In 1 year, they are all packed up. No maintenance, no structure, no nothing. Because it's a criminal in a criminal enterprise, in a crime scene. People are only thinking what they will steal, what they will get, or what they will zero into their pockets. Any country that is built by, if you try it in China, they will behead you. Because they want to see wealth based on productivity. An enterprise. My people perish for lack of knowledge. If we want this country to go forward, we must prioritize education. We must put in place structures and processes where there is knowledge, rightly applied, which is wisdom. The people prosper. But where there is no knowledge, where there is no wisdom, the people perish. We are collectively perishing in Nigeria because there is no knowledge anywhere. The very few who are knowledgeable are being suffocated. I sit down here and I see sector by sector how we can build a $1 trillion economy within the next 5 years. I am not kidding you. We can build our economy from the current less than $200 billion level to $1 trillion in 5 years. We are that blessed by God. May God have mercy on us. Happy New Week. It's a holy week. We'll keep on talking. We'll keep on sharing knowledge. One day, God will raise for us a helper. A king who will sit on the throne. Like Pharaoh, like Nebuchadnezzar. A wise king that will seek for the Josephs, that will seek for the Daniels, Shadrachs, Meshach and Abednego to help them to build this land into a glorious place. Where we can no longer, where this thing is not working, then let us break it. Let everybody go their own way and live according to their own civilization. Nigeria worked in the 60s because we had a constitutional and fiscal structure that allowed the regions to grow at their own level and understanding. The old Eastern Nigeria grew based on their own level of understanding and civilization. We won't allow each and every one of us to keep on collectively clawing down ourselves from climbing out like the crab. God have mercy.